$241.5 million. That's how much money the used toilet paper and Canada's biggest cunt, Justin the Matt Daddy Trudeau, has given to the Clinton Foundation. And this is happening right after his government decided to cut funding towards the cleaning up of Lake Simcoe, a very beautiful lake in Ontario. And this douchebag claims he's an environmentalist. No, he's not an environmentalist. He believes a carbon tax is not going to be good for the environment because all those jobs will just go overseas. They don't have to pay the tax. It's no skin off of their nose. They'll kick everybody out of work. They'll move to China and America where they're all doing well. And we will have higher taxes and less jobs. That's just a money-grabbing thing. If Trudeau really cared about the environment, he wouldn't cancel funding towards cleaning up Lake Simcoe, and instead of giving 241 or 221, whatever it is, millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation, and giving $10 million to a terrorist who kills soldiers and who is a convicted terrorist and admits that he's a terrorist, instead of making him, that douchebag, $10 million and making him a multi-millionaire, we'd use that money to clean up Lake Simcoe. We'd use that money to clean up the water supply that Native Americans on many reserves in this country are forced to drink but then die because the water supply on many Native reserves are contaminated. How is it that we, Canada, a first world country, which we're supposed to pride ourselves on, we're supposed to pride ourselves on environmentalism and all that other good stuff, and yet we have a douchebag of a prime minister who actually cancels the Lake Simcoe cleanup fund, leaves it there, who decides to do nothing about Native Americans who are living in worse than third world conditions, who have to drink contaminated water like they're in Mexico or something, but yet he gives millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation, which is a poor track record of making people in third world countries actually worse off than they were before. Just ask Haitians. And then gives $10 million to a convicted terrorist who blew up a soldier on the battlefield. Blew the guy up, has him die in his own blood, his guts, his legs, his genitals, his limbs, everything blown up. Being blown up, it's not, being blown up is the most painful way to die because many people don't die instantly. You're torn up, you're ripped up, everything is ripped up, and you're just sitting there kind of suffering because it depends on the angle on which you were blown up. If you're blown up on the wrong angle, you will suffer to death. It's worse than being stabbed. Being shot is better than being blown up or stabbed. And this douchebag, Omar Khadr, blows up the soldier, and he gets $10 million for it. And then Trudeau decides, let's give another few million to the Clinton Foundation, the corrupt Clinton Foundation. But then when he decides that I'm gonna cancel the Lake Simcoe cleanup fund. Why? Because we don't have any money. We have to cut costs. I'm not going to do anything about the thousands upon thousands of Native Canadians who have been on this land for hundreds of years, longer than Europeans, longer than anybody, They're dying of poisonous water. Their water supply is completely contaminated on many reserves. Some of these reserves are worse than living in Somalia. Justin Trudeau, we don't have the money to do it. So, we can't do it. We have British Columbia, which is literally burning right now. Wildfires everywhere. And I haven't heard of any amount of money going towards British Columbia. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't. When Fort McMurray was burning down, and we all know Justin hates Alberta, and anybody who thinks otherwise is a moron. Fort McMurray was burning down. We will match Red Cross donations because we don't have the money. We have to cut costs. Damn right we don't have the money. When we give $10 million to a terrorist who kills soldiers, and anybody who gives them the benefit of the doubt can go burn in hell for all I care. And 74% of Canadians agree with me. Okay? When we give $10 million to a terrorist, and when we give millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation, of course we're not going to have money to help the Native American population, which is dying because of contaminated water supply. Of course we're not going to have money to give back the benefits that Justin the Mac Daddy used toilet paper cunt Trudeau took away. Of course we're not going to have money to properly give aid to people in British Columbia who are literally burning right now. Of course, we're only going to have to match Red Cross funding donations to Fort McMurray. And of course, we're not going to be able to clean up Lake Simcoe, which is a beautiful lake. There's lots of cottages around there. And Justin just says, we can't do it. Well, let's cancel it. We got to cut costs. So we're going to have to cut costs. So to do what? To give $10 million to more terrorists? To give millions of dollars to more corrupt foundations like the Clinton Foundation? To give more of our tax dollars to other countries like Indonesia, which have poor human rights records like in many African countries, and give money to Indonesia to help them fix their infrastructure when our infrastructure is falling down? To give more money to African countries to help them build schools when many of our schools don't even have cafeterias? To give more money to an international feminist fund? For God's sakes, what the hell is that gonna do good for? An international feminist fund? Controlled by the United Nations? When we have all these problems here in Canada, to give millions of dollars to help rebuild Syria's infrastructure? Millions of dollars to help rebuild Iraq's infrastructure? Millions, billions of dollars to third world countries, many of them are dictatorships, to help them fight global warming? You think you can give billions of dollars to someone like Mugabe and he's going to use it to help fight global warming? This is what Justin Trudeau is doing with our tax dollars. He's abusing it. And he's abusing you too. And only a dipshit, dumbass, idiot, pansy, beta male, dumbass female will support Justin Trudeau anymore. This guy's been a disaster for the economy. And we are on the verge of bankruptcy. We already have billions of dollars in debt. Most of that debt is going to other countries. Not to mention $10 million to a terrorist who blew up a soldier. This is a disgrace. I'm sick of this shit. And when I say I'm sick of it, I am sick of it. And I'm sick of the stupidity, the dumbness of people in this country. Many of whom are waking up, though. Many of whom are waking up. But there's still many people who are so goddamn stupid who still think Justin Trudeau's so good. Those people I call idiots. They don't think he's good because of anything he's done. These are idiots who don't know anything about the world. They like his hair. They think he's handsome. They want drugs. They want pot, which they're probably not gonna get. I think he completely double-crossed those dumbass pot voters who only got up out of their basements and got up out of their bed to go vote for Trudeau because they might be able to smoke pot without being arrested. I don't think people should be arrested for doing pot. And I think if it's for medical purposes, yeah, then you should use it. But, like, I cannot stand people who the only thing they think about from morning till night is drugs. That's the height of retardedness. Justin Trudeau's got to go. He has got to go. He is destroying this country. He is abusing our tax dollars. I think that all Canadians should just stop paying taxes. Just stop paying income taxes. Just stop. Don't do it. Every single. What are they going to do if we all just stop paying taxes? Arrest us all? I mean, there aren't that many jails for 36 million people. If we all just stop paying taxes until these idiots who are running the place learn to spend our tax dollars better. No more money to terrorists. No more money to other countries for stupid issues like fixing their infrastructure or going into international feminist funds or to go do all sorts of other stuff. Of course, if there's an emergency, yeah, we're willing to help because we're nice people. But we shouldn't be having to fix other countries' problems, especially Syria and Iraq. And many African countries which have more natural resources than us. They have more natural resources than us, and yet they're still in poverty. No more. We should stop being the bitches of the world. That's what we are as Canadians right now. The rest of the world is laughing at us.